Hey, welcome to my shop. This week on the bench, got another vise restoration. I just love doing these. This is a Simplex model 41P. It's made by the Stephen Desmond Company out of Ohio. It's a 4-inch jaw vise and it weighs about 35 pounds. It's in pretty good shape. It's got some damage that I'm going to take care of. And we're going to get it cleaned up and probably put a fresh paint job on it. I don't know a whole lot about the Simplex brand, but it says it's a steel slide. So it's a heavy duty vise, and it's the type that mounts over the front of the bench. But it's greasy, it's dirty. So this has got the capture nut here on the front, which this was already loose, which is a good sign. So that should just come off. These are the easiest vices to take apart, this style, with the capture nut on the front, rather than having to deal with pins or something down inside from underneath. Well, the lead screw looks to be in really good shape. The handles, it's got a bunch of dings and dents in it, but it's not bent. And it looks like this vise was originally painted black. Gonna need a little help getting out. There we go. It's got removable jaws, so I'll see if I can get those out. Get this cleaned up. Let me see if I can get the retaining nut out of here. There's a pin in here and it looks like it was driven in and bent over a little bit. So first order of business is going to be to find that. There we go. May have to get some heat on that. Try the dynamic jaw. This one's in worse shape. I don't know if the camera's going to show that or not, but this one's in terrible shape. Ooh, it's loose though. Is it loose or broken? Look at that. Please don't be broken. I'll be damned. Took that one out with my finger. Man, this one came right out too. Hey, that worked. Hopefully the camera's picking that up and you see how chewed up that head is. I don't know if I can reuse these or not. Still got one more to get out. Holy cow, that thing is stuck. Vise is fully disassembled here. It's just really grimy, but I haven't seen any cracks yet, but we'll get it cleaned up here with some degreaser and see what it looks like. That's everything through the sandblaster except for the dynamic jaw. This isn't perfect. This is as clean as I want it for now, so that I can inspect it. I'm going to be doing some body work on this thing, some filing, probably some steel putty, and it's going to go back to the sandblaster anyway. I just want to get this clamp back on so that I can start doing some preliminary filing. I think I'm going to go low enough to get that one out, but I'll figure it out when I get the other jaw done. This is JB Weld quick setting steel epoxy. So I'm just going to mix up a little bit. Probably have to do 2 applications on that hole. It's pretty deep. Now I'm going to get these filled in. Just smooth this top out, and then I can get to filing and sanding it. And I've got what I call my rough sanding done, so ended up going down to 40 grit and then 60 grit. So now I'm going to start with 80. I'm not real sure how high I'm going to take this. We'll just see how it goes. All right, I'm up to 220 on this, and it's starting to shine a little bit. You can actually see the reflection. All right, I'm on to the next phase. I've sanded this with regular like gold type paper up to 220. This is more of an open grit paper, and I'm going to switch to wet sanding. Again, this is another 220 grit. All right, now I'm up to 320 grit. All right, we'll move on to 400 grit. .600 grit, and this will be my last grit with this sander. All right, my next sandpaper is a 1200 grit. This is a Harbor Freight sandpaper. I've never used it before. We'll see how it does. This is a 2000 grit foam pad from Harbor Freight. I've cleaned my disc off. I've got it damp. I'm going to put some rubbing compound on here. And I'll work it in with the buffer. Well, it's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. This hole filled in a lot better than I thought. I still got a little work to do here, so I'm going to put another coat of the steel epoxy on here and see if we can't level that out just a little bit more. All right, you saw earlier where I temporarily installed this jaw so I could level this. Now I'm going to do the same to this side, but I'm going to slide it together so I can get a nice even fit on the jaw all the way across. Filed this smooth and slick as well. Doesn't need much. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but this lighter gray area is where the file's not getting to. I'm not going to take this all the way down. I'd lose too much material. So I'm going to leave it like it is. I'm going to blue the jaws, so we'll see how that looks. Hopefully it'll look kind of cool. Okay, for the handle, I just took it and sandblasted it. This had a lot of rust and old paint on it. Actually, two colors, yellow then black. Cleaned up the handle a little bit on the fiber wheel. I'm just going to sand the handle with 150. It's got a lot of battle scars on it, and I don't want to get rid of all those. And to do that, this would end up being so thin. So I'm going to sand this to 150, and then I'm going to blue it. And this I'm going to just clean up a little bit more, and I'll paint that the body color. This is the little bolt that holds the capture nut for the lead screw. And it's got a lot of rough edges on it. So I'm just going to take a file and clean this up a little bit. Since it's kind of front and center in the vise, I think it'd look a little nicer. That's way better than it was. That'll look good blued. Okay. Well, my battery died on my camera and I didn't realize it. Sorry about that. But I got everything blued. I'm just going to get some oil on this and we'll let it sit until I'm ready to put it back together. All right, I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll come back and fix this A little bit of the N there, the M and the A. I'll just get some blue paint on a toothpick and drop it in there. Well, let's just try first. I've got a little bit of the blue paint sprayed into a cup, and I'm just going to try and touch it up with a toothpick here. All right, the final painting step on the vise is going to be get a couple coats of satin clear on there. All right, get this thing reassembled now. These jaw faces were in pretty good shape. I just cleaned them up, blued those as well like I did all the fasteners. Super smooth. Hey, thanks for tuning in. As usual, I had fun with this project. This Simplex 41P steel slide vise. Thought I'd just have a little fun with it since it's got a steel slide to do a little metal polishing on it. It came out pretty good. I'm happy with the project. So stay tuned, and I'll have some before and after pictures coming right up, and we'll see you on the next one.